Hi, and welcome to episode 7 of Real Talk with Realtron. Today we're back with Alex Pilarski, founder and president of Remax Realtron, and Cam Forbes, Realtron GM. So gentlemen, it's been a while. It's been a few months since we've done one of these together. We're about midway through the year, so I want to talk a little bit about where we are in terms of the market, and also where agents should be with their business and what they need to do in the second half of the year to make sure that they're on track for their goals and they're going to have the best year ever. So, to get started, let's talk a little bit about the market. We're filming this. Market Watch just came out for the May Market Watch, so it's the beginning of June. What stands out to you as really big and important, Alex?
The biggest challenge we have is, other than one or two small segments of the market, there is no inventory.
Right.
So it's a huge seller's market with lots of multiple offers and a very difficult time for buyers.
Right. So it's a difficult time for buyers. Sales have picked up a lot. Cam, where are you seeing the sales really happening? Where are sales on fire?
Yeah, thank you, Jeremy. So the great news is sales were up overall almost 20% for May 2019 versus 2018. So fantastic. Of that, I'll call it the freehold market. So your detached, semi-detached towns in the 905 were up 26%. So we're back to sort of where they used to be, the historical levels. And that represents pretty well, all of those three types represents half of the market overall in the GTA. And just detached homes in the 905 represent about a third of the overall market.
Right.
So we saw good strength in that market where there had been, some softness over the last couple of years.
Yeah, so interesting, the volume of sales is back up to a high level. Inventory is pretty low. Price appreciation in terms of overall price appreciation is about 3.5%. But in terms of detached, it's about flat or slightly up. First time it's up a little bit in a while. How long can that last without prices going back up to, quite a substantial level, 3, 5, 7% a year?
Yeah, I think there's a great opportunity. We've been talking in our market updates about the opportunity for trade up, to trade up from, I'll call it a condo or a town or a semi to a detached. There's a great trade-up opportunity still in the market, but they're maybe changed a little bit. So we were looking at York Region alone, right? And that is where there's probably still, 3 months of supply, so 3 listings for every sale versus overall 2 months or 2 listings for every sale.
Right.
So there's still an opportunity. There are fewer buyers, a little bit more inventory in that, I'll call it, particularly that detached 905 market, right, Alex? And so, there's trade opportunity. So Durham's a great affordable area. There's a trade opportunity to go from Durham to York if that's something that people want to do. It's still an area of opportunity, still, fewer buyers, a little less competition for people in that area. So that's a neat opportunity.
Yeah, I think that's really interesting because the buyers that were looking in York Region over the past few years and ended up buying in Durham. Just because of affordability.
Yes.
Their prices have kind of gone up, and York Region's prices have kind of gone down a little bit. So now people can start moving back, get closer to work, and get closer to where they are.
Right, and I think it's all comes down to the stress test.
Yes.
So a lot of homes over 1.2, 1.3 million are challenged to get mortgages and qualifications. So the lower priced under that, for the most part, have become more affordable, have become more in demand. And I think what we've seen happen is that 905 is less expensive, is more affordable than 416. So we've had a lot of people who have, in a sense, been priced out of the market south of Steeles, going a little bit further north, getting a bigger home, getting bigger lots, and being able to afford it and wanting to get in the market.
Right.
So I think this shows that there's a huge demand for homes, home ownership. But the points both of you guys brought up is really good, which is that they can now move out from Durham into different areas, or not just Durham, but Durham has gone up quite a bit. The condo market has really gone up a lot. I think condos are up 6-7% from the start of the year.
But interestingly, the volume of condos seems to be a little bit softer. I mean, still mild increases, but it's calmed down a little bit. And I think people are realizing that, hey, I don't have to look for a condo anymore. I can buy that detached in Durham. I can go
That's
to
right.
Peel,
Yeah, other
areas like
opportunities.
that.
But it's exchanging location.
Right.
So, and it's a normal part. It's almost, as the market changes, it's like the body breathing in and out. So the demand moves out, then the prices go up, and then
Right.
all of a sudden they go, oh, downtown is
Yeah.
similar.
Right.
Let me move downtown.
Yeah.
So the demand moves in and out
Right.
as the prices change.
So there's a lot in there. So let's just go back to, from an agent's point of view, we like to give the agents what to tell their clients, but from the agent's point of view of who you can go after, all the people you were moving to York Region that ended up buying in Peel or Durham, maybe move them back, bring them into York Region.
Yes,
yeah.
I don't want to say Peel or Durham,
yeah,
just
sorry.
on the
Yeah.
outskirts.
On the
Yeah.
Those homes have appreciated, and by the way, this so it's time to perhaps, if they can or want to, move back in. And the same thing has happened in the luxury market. If anything, the luxury market has been the softest due to the stress test, due to the foreign buyers tax.
Definitely.
And so those people who are looking for a luxury home, yes, their home for, let's say, $1.5 million has gone down, but the opportunity to buy for 2 or for 3 has also come down.
Right.
So it's a great opportunity for those people who can afford to move into a luxury home. The difference between their existing place and the new place is very
gap
small.
is narrowed.
And
And that was the point you were making with the outskirts, where now the price differential is not that much,
Right.
and it's a great opportunity
Yeah.
to take advantage of that.
And I think that's all combined, capped together with the fact that, contrary to what everyone suggested and predicted a couple of years ago, interest rates are now down. 5-year rates below 3%.
3%.
It's unbelievable.
It shows you the value of predictions
Yeah.
by experts.
Yes. Exactly.
So great. So now that we know that experts can't predict anything, my next
That's
question
why
here
we're not
is-
experts.
Yes.
No, so just looking forward into summer in the next few months, we had a kind of slow start to the spring. Everything was shifted maybe a month or two later because of weather,
Correct.
because of that. What do you see happening June, July, August in terms of the market?
As you said, usually the 3 busiest months of the year are April, May, June. This year it may be May, June, July.
Right.
May we had about 10,000 homes, which was decent.
Yeah.
I think we had 22 days of rain.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Maybe we're in Vancouver and don't know it. So I think June and July are going to be big months.
Right. So, like you've been saying, I think the past couple of months, Alex, I've heard you say, book a vacation in August.
Correct.
Take some time to relax then, but just for the next couple months, the market is going to be really hot.
Right. I mean, like you said, I've been saying for the next 10 weeks, tell your family good news. I've booked us a cottage for the month of August.
Yeah.
The bad news is you're not going to see me for the next 10 weeks because I'm going to pay for the cottage.
Yes.
Right. Good. So I think that sums up on the market. The last thing is, just to hit again on condos. I think we're seeing rents are still strong. Condo sales are still strong. Price appreciation is what's leading all of price appreciation. Still a good time for condo owners to move up, just like we said with the other ones. And still a great time to buy investment condos. You're seeing a lot of that happening?
Yeah. 10 years ago, we thought downtown condominium prices at $300 a square foot were outrageous.
Yes.
Then they went to $500 a square foot, and we thought that's silly. Now they're at $1,000 a square foot, and we have some condos being offered at $1,800 a square foot. And the truth of it is that immigration into Toronto from outside of Canada is still huge, with 60% of those people coming to Toronto. Also, we have other parts of Canada being challenged in their economies.
Right.
So people are moving to Toronto. And as long as there's this huge demand for rental space, we just can't keep up with it. We've talked before that in order to keep up with the annual new immigration, we need about 120 condo
New
units
condominium,
completed
A
every
year.
year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so and I believe Toronto right now has the most number of cranes
Yeah, I heard
in
the
the
same
world at
statistic.
98. So that means we're building, let's assume it's 98 towers.
Yeah.
Well, but we need 120 towers this year alone,
Right.
completed.
And we're not going to get that.
We're not, no.
So the good news is, I mean, for people, again, going back to detached houses, rental basements are becoming big. Anything like that. And the city's trying to now increase their rental accommodations, but it's going to take years.
It's going to take
years to
But
figure
it's
it out.
interesting what we're also seeing is builders who were going to be building condominiums have now decided they're going to build rental apartments.
Right.
And part of that is because any new units completed since last November will not be subject to rent controls.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is why all of a sudden the builders are saying, hey, there's a demand. Now we can make a living with rentals and not have problems with rent controls. And now we're seeing builders getting back into the apartment building market.
Right, which puts a little bit of upward pressure on condo prices because there are less units available for investors, for end users as well. Good. So a lot's happening in the market. I think it's got to be more positive than anyone thought at the beginning of the year. There's no problem for agents to be able to find business out there if they're looking and working hard. But let's talk about agents that have had a slow start to the year. They're waking up now, and a minute ago they were saying, I have so much time ahead of me, and now they're almost saying it's too late. What do you tell someone to get their head in the game and get them focused, saying that this year can still be their best year, even though we're almost halfway through it?
Yeah, well, it always starts with the goal, right, Jeremy? So let's just say they started in December last year, January this year, saying they wanted to make a certain amount of money, and they're off track now, right? So that's too bad, but you still have 60% of the year left for number of units and opportunity. So fundamentally, they've got to generate leads through prospecting, right? They've got to do that. They've got to take that seriously. They've got to block the time to do that, and that's where they're off track. You can say that without even having the conversation. That's where they're off track. And it starts with repeat and referrals. So all past clients, all friend and family, pick up the phone, give them a call, see how they're doing, right? Have an event for the end of June, right? Why don't you pick up the phone, invite them all to a barbecue in your backyard last week of June, right? And just
Great
have them
idea.
in, right? And but that's fundamentally, if they're off track. If there's any advice that I'd want to give to a realtor, and Alex can pick up on this as well, is that you're off track because you're not prospecting, you're not blocking your time, you're not holding yourself accountable. So make sure you do that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
The universe rewards effort. If there is no effort, how can you get results? So real estate is really an easy business. Meet people, make friends with them, get them to like you, help them solve their real estate problems, and stay in touch. If you're not meeting people and you're not staying in touch, then there's nobody to talk to. So which means if they've been having a challenge, it means they haven't been staying in touch with past clients, as you were saying, Ken, nor making new contacts.
Right.
So the key is prospecting. The key is meeting people and staying in touch with past clients, just as Cam said. And until you put in the effort, you're not going to see the results.
No, absolutely.
So it starts at the top with setting a goal, as you said.
Yeah.
Then getting in touch with people and just figuring out what way you're going to get in touch with people. So having a barbecue is a great, easy way to reach out and connect with people.
Yeah.
Midway through the year, CMAs, send them something. There's great news out there.
Yes.
Just
We've
telling
got
them what's
Father's
sold.
Day around the corner.
That's true.
How about buying some ties, some crazy ties, ugly ties?
Ugly ties is a great idea.
Ugly ties.
The other one I've heard this year that's good is measuring tapes. Just go get 100 measuring tapes, drop them off at every guy in the house.
Don't drop
needs
them
one.
off.
Yeah.
Knock on the door and deliver
Sorry,
them.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Deliver them.
Deliver
say
them.
hi.
Yeah.
Great idea.
Find an excuse to say hi to the people you know.
Right.
That's where it starts.
Right.
Because they forgot. It's interesting. Many times surveys have been done, and they've been asked, "How do you like your agent?" And 95% of people said, "We loved our agent. We deal with them again." But 5 years later, only 20% used the same agent.
Right.
And when they were asked why, the answer was, well, we lost touch. So the question is, whose responsibility is it to stay in touch with clients? And so there's your answer. Right. So find an excuse to stay in touch, whether it's a party or delivering tapes or anything. Find an excuse to go meet the people who like you, who have done business with you, and who would love to recommend you, but they've forgotten you and your phone number.
Yeah, I think a lot of times, agents are told to ask for referrals, and you've got to be out there asking for referrals. Then if you've lost touch with someone, it's difficult to start that. Cam, how would you start the conversation? Hey, I haven't been in touch with you in a while. Do you apologize? What do you do to get back in touch?
Absolutely, yeah. No, you just simply say, hey, Jeremy, it's Cam. How are you? I got to apologize. I haven't touched base with you lately. How are you? How's your family? What are you doing for the summer? And by the way, market's changed. Would you like me to come by, give you a new assessment of your house, see what it is? How's that sound, right? Or I've got a summer barbecue. I'd love to have you in, see the family. It's on June 20th. Come on. Lots of different things, but absolutely apology. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
The good news is we live in a very fast-paced, hectic life, and we're all busy. And so people understand because they've been busy. And the truth of it is they also feel guilty they didn't stay in touch with you. So it doesn't really matter. Pick up the phone and go, hey, it's been a few months since we spoke. I drove by your house. I thought, wow, I haven't spoken to you in a few months. And then I went, oh my goodness, it's been 2 years. I'm so sorry. How did that happen? And they're going to go, yeah, I know. And just say, how's everything going?
Right.
Yeah. The truth of it doesn't matter. Just say hello.
Just say hello.
Just say hello.
That's great. So the other challenge I find that a lot of agents have at this time of year, you've been working with a buyer since February. You've had a listing sitting on the market that hasn't sold. You can give all the good market details and info, but what if it just is not happening? So we're now at the point where buyers start to give up. They start to say, well, maybe I'm not going to buy this year. Maybe I'll buy next year. The buyers and sellers are losing a bit of motivation. What are some tips to get your buyers and sellers moving, to get them to do it this year? Or should you be looking at it as, how can I turn this into another deal? You got to find a deal out of all the work you've done. Where are you going to find the deal?
Sure.
Cam, what are your thoughts?
There's so many opportunities, so many things go through my mind. But let's say you've got a listing that's there that hasn't sold and your seller's expectations aren't in line, so you can't get a price adjustment with them. Okay, so first off, have you knocked all the doors in the neighborhood to say you've got a listing and introduced yourself, right? So that's the first thing. And have you sent out a just listed card to be able to follow up and actually have a conversation with them? On the buy side, buyers may now be able to afford that couldn't even 2 months ago, because again, you said mortgage rates, right? You're below 3% on a 5-year fixed, and you were about almost 4% 3 months ago, right? So a great opportunity. Hey, mortgage rates are down. I don't know if you saw it in the paper, but I believe you can now afford. Let's look again, right? Let's take a look and focus them once again on the search and get them filled with energy. And there's always, the market is good and it's going to improve. And we're not experts, but the mortgage rates are good. Prices have come down in a lot of areas. There's going to be more buyers involved. So if you can get them out there now versus later, there'll be fewer competitors. They'll have a longer time to choose, more homes to choose from, and it's not going to get better. So that's another thing to get on the phone and just say, let's go out now. I want you to get your home. I want you to have fewer competitors, and rates are great now. We can do it. Let's go.
Yeah, and I think I led the question in a bit different direction, but I think it also at some point there's got to be a time where you say, look, this is not worth my time.
Sure. So let's look at the reality. The reality is that not all listings sell. And we know we are in a seller's market where in most areas of the city, there's less than 2 listings for every buyer.
Right.
Anytime a well-priced listing, and I'm hesitating well-priced, a listing priced at market value comes out, there's anywhere from 2 to 20 offers on it. So there's a huge demand for a market-priced property.
Yes.
If you have a listing that is not selling, it is obviously above market price because we have a huge demand.
Yes.
So the first advice I would give to an agent is sit down with the seller and say, let's find out again, why are you selling?
Right.
Once we sell your place, what are you going to do? Now, if somebody's going to sell their place and move into a rental, then that's a different circumstance from somebody who wants to sell a house for $1 million and move into $1.5 million or $2 million.
Right.
Two different animals. But if you're moving up, chances are that you're going to get less for your home than you are currently asking, but there's great opportunities in buying something else. So, like you said, the reality is not all properties will sell, not all buyers will buy. So, as an agent, you have to sit down and go, okay, why are we doing this again? And this is the opportunity. And if the sellers go, well, it's a crazy price, but I don't care, then you have your answer, and you have to find somebody who cares. As far as buyers are concerned, the same thing. You have to sit down, and if you've been showing them since February, there's a problem because prices have gone up since February.
Right.
So they have already, if they wanted to buy a condo and they started looking in February, a condo that was $600,000 is now $630,000 or $640,000. So they're losing the market.
Right.
So the question is, what's holding you back? And if they are just not committed to moving ahead, then you have to find people who are serious. So meet people, get them to like you, help them solve their real estate problems. But sometimes people don't want to solve their problems.
Yeah.
You know, doctors give pills and people don't take them.
Right.
Sometimes you just have to let the patients die and find another patient who needs your help.
That's good.
It's really important, and sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but it's really important for our agents to qualify the people they're working with
Right.
too, right? Both
And
buyers and sellers.
And
right? Yeah.
requalify every period of time
Yeah.
when, you know, they should be doing something, but they're not.
Right.
There's a problem I'm missing. What's going on? Let me
Yes.
understand why you're not adjusting.
Mm-hmm. So you got to have that why question.
Correct.
And we started with talking about agents who were maybe unmotivated or hadn't made it happen yet this year, starting with the why question. So to wrap things up, we try not to talk too much about the brokerage here, but we're always trying to innovate and grow. You've been doing this for 138 years? 40-something years.
Yes, November is going to be 47 years.
Wow.
And I'm only 39.
Why focus on growing? What is your why? Why do you get here? Why do you show up for the podcast? Why do you make it happen?
It's a desire to always be the best I can be, to always do better. And I see lots of need, and I'm just trying to fulfill the need. Never being satisfied with where I am, I guess.
Being satisfied.
I guess as Richard and I always say, you're either busy being born or you're busy dying. I'm always looking to be reborn. We go to conventions, we go to seminars, we're looking for new ideas because we want to be better. We know we can be better, we're just searching for a way to be better.
And actually, you said it really well at our mastermind training last week, where you were talking to a lot of agents about some innovations and some new tools. And you saw the agents who were kind of saying, I can't learn this, it's something
Right.
else. Don't get old.
Don't get old.
Don't get
Yes.
old. You're getting old if you give up on learning something new.
Yeah, if you say this is just, you know what, I can't handle this anymore,
Right.
It's too far advanced for me, then you're allowing yourself to get old.
Yeah, great. And Cam, what's your motivation to keep going, keep growing in your real estate business, in your real estate
Very
knowledge?
similar, just slightly different. It's grow, do better, learn, right? It's really what it is. And frankly, again, you fundamentally, you want to help people, you do, right? But it's you grow, you learn, you want to do better. Every day you wake up, you want to contribute, right?
Correct.
And do better than the day before.
And it makes life exciting and interesting.
Yeah.
You know, it's you wake up wanting to accomplish things as opposed to I might as well stay in bed. There's nothing to do.
Yeah. Great. So a couple great reasons why. get your clients to know the reasons why. There's a great market out there.
Yeah, indeed.
And it's going to be achievable to get whatever you want. But I hope all the agents listening, I hope you connect with your why and you figure out how you're going to make the second half of 2019 your best year ever.
Honestly, the market is there. The buyers are there. The sellers are there. All that's missing is for you to go out and make contact with them, as Cam pointed out.
Great. So wonderful to have you guys again. We'll do it again in a few months. And thanks to everyone who's listening on Podbean and Spotify and Google Play and iTunes.
I hope you're
and
getting
watching on
endorsements
YouTube.
for this.
And no one's paying me anything for this. Thanks very much, guys. Have a great year.
All right.
From Real Talk with Realtron, I'm Jeremy Pilarski. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.